What's up? MVP Reviews here today with my Kong Skull Island spoilers review. This is going to be the video where I talk more in depth about Kong Skull Island. So let's get right into it. I'll just very quickly go through the brush on my last review. Pretty damn good movie. Great action scenes. Kong's a great character. Fantastic action scenes. I mean, the action scenes are just crazy. Those are going to be my positives. Some characters are decent, blah blah blah. The overall characters and the character development's not that great. It's not that good. But you can't get everything. So overall, I thought it was a pretty damn good movie, especially in IMAX. So yeah, I'll get more now into the spoilers after that. So by far the best parts of this movie were the King Kong fights. Okay, so my favorite King Kong fight would have been the end fight. That was awesome. That was badass. Now there was an issue. There's a couple issues I have with the overall fighting, and then a different issue with Kong the character. But I'll get to those in my negatives. But yeah, so to stay in the positives, the fighting, the King Kong. So what happens is, okay, before I go on, this will be a spoilers review. Spoiler warning, spoiler alert, I will be talking spoilers. If you have not seen Kong Skull Island, don't watch any further. I have a non-spoilers review up as well. That'll be the video right before this, so if you want to know my thoughts in more depth without giving spoilers, go look at that bad boy. So yeah, now you've been warned. I'll continue. At when they first get to the island and they crack and they go through the storm, and then probably about 5 minutes of film of the movie later, you get to introduce to King Kong. And I thought the way that they introduced Kong was pretty good, was pretty great. That was one of my favorite parts of the movie. Was like I really like how they had the two waves of helicopters, and they had the one wave, the hand. The first thing you see of Kong is the hand. I do like that they went to go that route with the hand. The overall and then from there they did that awesome, fantastic shot with him standing in the sunlight, which is actually a poster that I have, which is a fantastic poster. And that was just a fantastic shot. There was something about that shot, though, that is in my negatives, but of course we're talking about positives right now. So then, of course, they fight, blah blah blah, Kong wins, Kong leaves, and so then we have to wait a while before another Kong fight. I mean, there was a small one with him versus the two smaller skull crawlers. That was decent. It was fast. It cut to him. It cut away. So yeah, and then but nothing can top the end fight scene. I mean, the end fight scene was just awesome. I mean, that thing was sick. And it was like in stages. There was stage 1, where I would consider, I would actually, I mean, I'm pretty sure that that's different scenes, but I would actually consider Kong, like when Samuel Jackson takes Kong down and Kong's lying on the ground, I would consider that to be the beginning of the scene. And then when Kong opens up his eyes, and Samuel Jackson's like, "Fuck you," and then I would consider that. So I would consider that phase 1. I would consider phase 2 to be Kong when he does the jump and smashes him with the rock. Oh god, that was just fucking sick. You know, like that was sick. And then phase 3, of course, is after he breaks the chains, and then we'll finish him off. But, yeah. So, I mean, that is pretty much my positives. My positives outweigh my negatives just because of how awesome the positives are. I mean, the fight scenes were awesome. They were great. I do have a couple issues with the fight scenes. Get to those my negatives. Now, you might hear me say that I have a lot of negatives about this movie. I do. But I feel that like the overall enjoyment of this movie outweighs the negatives just because of the excitement and the entertainment value of the movie. So I feel that that's another big positive about this movie, is that it's a King Kong movie. If you're going in expecting a La La Land, I mean, Jesus, no. I mean, so it's a King Kong movie. There's not going to be great acting. There's not going to be great dialogue. There's not going to be great characters. It's just not. So they said it was a King Kong movie. They gave us a King Kong movie. They gave us a great King Kong. They gave us great fighting scenes. That's pretty much all that I need. So now I'll start moving on to my negatives. And my biggest negatives, of course, most people's biggest negatives would be the characters. The characters weren't good. I mean, we didn't care about them really. They didn't have practically no development. John C. Reilly, best character, I feel, in terms of development-wise. After him would probably be Samuel Jackson, even though Samuel Jackson has a big character flaw, which I'll get to in a minute. Then probably Tom Hiddleston. A slight positive for me would have been the scene where they looked at the Northern Lights. I feel that fleshed out his character enough. But still, I mean, not great. But it doesn't really have to be great, you know? So, characters, Brie Larson was, something that bugged me was that she goes out and looks at the Northern Lights, right? And then you don't see her with that shirt again. I know that they had to get her in the tank with just the tank top on, I get it, but those things kind of bug me. Like, I always expected, so it's good and bad. It's like someone gets hurt and she uses her shirt to, stop the bleeding or whatever. But whatever. Kind of a small negative there, but it does bug me because they have to get the females in the least amount of clothes possible. But whatever. She looked good doing it, but it just bugs me. But moving on from that, it's following the same line as the characters would be the script. The script was bad. You could, with a bad script, you're not going to get good characters. You're not going to get good dialogue. You're not going to get good character moments. You're not going to get any of that with a bad script. And this was not a good script. It just wasn't. Continuing with the characters, so this movie has several humor moments, several funny moments, at least for me. But the movie has a lot of funny moments that they try to make you laugh. A lot. I wouldn't say not too much, but there was a decent amount of them, and some of them definitely fell flat for me. So, John C. Reilly had a couple pretty good moments. There was one laugh out loud moment that I got from not him, which I can't remember. I have to see the movie again. But John C. Reilly had a couple good lines. The movie had some laughs, but it tried to. I feel it tried a little too hard. Moving on. I'll get to Samuel Jackson's character. He was he wasn't a good character. I mean, because, like, I definitely understand that King Kong killed 7 of your men. I get it. You want revenge. But, dude, you're all together. You can easily just leave the island. And, nope. I mean, I know that they needed a plot device to get him back. I get that. And I definitely get don't leave a man behind. I get that part. I'm with you there. Yes, yes, was it borderline not even going back for him? Sure, but I personally I would have gone back for him. But after that, after you know he's dead, leave. I mean, that's just stupid. You should leave. So yeah, and then I just didn't really like that part. Um. Yeah, okay, now we're going to move on to the Kong kind of stuff, negatives. So you have King, so one of the little naggy things that I had was, okay, so you've seen the movie, you know King Kong struggles mightily to beat the last guy, right? The big one, as John C. Reilly calls him. Okay, I don't know. I forget these characters' names, so I'm going to call them by the actors' names. I apologize. I know they actually had character names, but I do actually forget them because that's how forgettable they were. But, so, yeah, so he did struggle mightily with that guy, and it got me thinking, okay, so you're gonna fight Godzilla, but you can't take down this guy? Like, that seemed effed up. And then a buddy who I saw the movie with goes, but they completely fixed that by the line, "He's still growing, and it's 1973," which means King Kong will get bigger, and he has 50 years if they really are going to do a 2020 actual time release. So that really helps. Now, I hope that when we do get King Kong vs. Godzilla, King Kong is bigger than Godzilla. I do want King Kong to actually be taller than Godzilla to make up for the fire breath and all that stuff. But yeah, another, what was the, okay, I'm sorry, there was another thing that was nagging at me, but I can't really remember it right now. I'll just add that I'm just remembering back to the fight, and like the tree was just awesome. I mean, that's definitely a big positive. The anchor was not anchor. The propeller was great as well. Those were just great moments. A slight negative would have been him saving Brie Larson. I mean, I know it's King Kong. I know he's supposed to definitely be the good guy. Blah blah blah. I didn't mind when she put her hand on his nose, because that's like the quintessential King Kong thing. But, I mean, just, it is what it is. But, yeah, so those are my base negatives. You can tell I have more negatives than positives, but the positives it's just the type of movie that the positives in this movie are going to outweigh the negatives. So, overall, I give this movie a 7.7. If you are going to see this movie in IMAX, or if you can see this movie in IMAX, do. It's fantastic in IMAX 3D. It will only be in IMAX 3D till Thursday for practically everyone, because of a little known movie called Beauty and the Beast. But try to go see it in IMAX if you can. I recommend this movie. If you're a monster fan, if you're an action fan, if you're just a fun movie fan, go see this. It's not for everybody. If you don't like a lot of noise, a lot of action, a lot of like creepy action, there is also a lot of different creatures in this movie, and if you get scared by like creatures or bugs or that kind of thing, you might get a little scared of this movie. Yeah, overall I'd give it a 7.7. I thought it was pretty damn good. Yes, there's negatives. There's a lot of negatives, more negatives than positives, but the positives outweigh the negatives because of the type of movie and because it's just the positives are that good. So 7.7. I don't I don't really have much else. So 7.7, pretty damn good movie. This has been the spoiler review for Kong Skull Island, everybody. Go see the movie. It is pretty damn fantastic. Peace.